What's going on, guys? Zunk here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Kill the Justice League. Now, I'm going to have to be a little bit quieter in this one because it is late at night here, but I just finished the game and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. The footage you're seeing shouldn't have any spoilers or at least anything major. It's all just side content after I beat the game. So yeah, no major spoilers, but if you do want to avoid like every single bit of gameplay you can to get this game like fresh out of your memory, that's your warning. This is gameplay. Yeah, you can tell. So first I want to talk about what I liked about this game because there's a lot of negativity surrounding it, so I just kind of wanted to cover that stuff first. So my first pro here is the gameplay is very fun in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people are saying it gets repetitive. I personally don't think it does. It's super flashy, super fun and chaotic, and it's really just a great time in my opinion. I mean, I'm about 14-15 hours in. I've beaten the main story. It's not super long, and now I'm doing the end content, but I did kind of just rush through the main story. So if you were doing side content with it, probably maybe take you about, I don't know, 15-20 hours to get it done if you did all the side content. Like I was talking to a guy on Discord the other day. He's like 15 hours in, he just beat the first boss, and there's about like 5 of them. So yeah, you can make it long or you can make it short like I did. I just kind of wanted to get into the end game and just really have fun with the gameplay, and I was also like hooked on the story. That's another one of the pros that I'll get into here in a minute. But so yeah, the gameplay pretty fun. It's all movement based, so each character has their own like movement, like unique movement system. Like as you're seeing with Captain Boomerang here, he's got the Speed Force. He's got like this gauntlet that lets him use it, and he's got his boomerang and he throws it around and can teleport to it and stuff. And they all feel really different. Like it's an adjustment switching from one to another. Like I mained King Shark through the whole story. I got him to max level by around 12 hours. It was like during the end game and stuff. And then I decided, okay, let's try Boomerang, and he's fun. So now I'm trying to grind him out to max level. But yeah, so the movement's all different. I've played as all the characters. I don't like Harley's that much. It just kind of feels slow. I mean, everyone's the same speed. The developers made sure of that, so you're not just like beating everybody to the objective and then just waiting for like 10 minutes for people to get there. See, everyone's the same speed, but just Harley just didn't really, I don't know, I don't like her. She's just kind of like GameCube Spider-Man. And then that just leaves Deadshot, who I think is fun to play as. His movement is a little more, like, it's a lot, not, I wouldn't say harder to master, but it's kind of just, you have to like time certain like cooldowns for his jetpack and stuff. He uses a jetpack to fly around. You got like this afterburner mechanic and everything. So it's fine, it's fun. But Boomerang and King Shark are definitely my favorites so far. Okay, now let's get into the story. I'm not going to get into spoilers. I'm just going to say if it's good or bad and like a little bit of like stuff about tone or anything, but I won't say anything that actually happens till later in the video. I might get into spoilers, I'm not sure yet. But for now, there are no spoilers. So the story is good in my opinion, especially, so the first half is really good. First half of the story, I'm fully invested, you know. There's this super cool sequence with Batman that I won't say anything about. There's just all kinds of like banter between the squad that's super funny, and like just, I wouldn't say super funny, but it is funny, it's entertaining, and it's like nice to listen to and everything. But towards the second half, it kind of gets worse. I still think it's fine, like it's not great, but it's there. I mean, I feels like they just kind of like went from slow, like really taking care of the story, to just overdrive, where they just kind of rush everything. So it's not horrible. Like I know it sounds horrible the way I'm putting it. It's really not. It's fine. It's fun. It's still lighthearted and everything. But there are some things that I will get into later that I don't like about the story and stuff. And I'll get into the stuff that I do like too. Just I don't want to get into spoilers just yet. But overall, I think the story was fine. I think it was good. But I think the gameplay is really the standout here, not the story, which is kind of sad coming from the Rocksteady, the developers of the Arkham games, who are known for their really good stories. But yeah, story, it's fine, nothing great, nothing super, it's not gonna like leave you like awestruck or anything by the end, but it's good. And then the boss fights in the game, so that's something I really want to talk about during the spoilers section, but for now I'm not going to talk too much into it. The boss fights are 50-50 with me. They are fine sometimes, and then other times they're just, I don't know, there's a few bosses get really good care and everything, and then other bosses are just not that good. I'll talk more about it in the spoilers section, like I said. Overall, I had fun with the bosses. Flash, he was fine. Green Lantern was one of my favorites. The Batman one was pretty cool. I mean, it was a little bit disappointing, but it wasn't like super bad. I mean, it was fun enough. It was just because, you know, Batman's Arkham Batman, so you'd expect a ton from this. This does take place in the Arkham universe. Forgot to say that earlier. But and then Superman, he was fun. But yeah, so the boss fights, they're fine. I mean, they're pretty fun. Overall, I'd say they're good. There's just a few pet peeves that I have with them, and a few of them that I just think were not good. So I'll get into those afterwards in the spoiler section. But overall, boss fights are fine. Alrighty, let's address the elephant in the room. This is going to get some controversy, but let's talk about Batman. I liked what they did with Batman in this game. I know, cancel me, do whatever. I think that Batman was done well in this game. I think that he had the coolest parts of the game by far. Every time there was a Batman like sequence, like there's one with a museum, and then there's one towards his like the end of his like arc in the game. It's really fun. So Batman, he was the best. He also, this isn't really a spoiler. This is just kind of like a thing that happens throughout the game. It's no like story spoiler or anything, but minor gameplay spoiler, I guess. A spoiler, I guess. So I guess just skip for about 10-20 seconds further from this. I'll probably put a timestamp down in the description for when you should. Yeah, I'll just put a timestamp down there for when you should skip to, if you want to avoid this. So yeah, spoiler warning for minor spoilers. Okay. So Batman throughout the game like stalks you, which is really it's scary and it's cool. Like you'll be like just traversing the city and you'll just see him on a rooftop, and if you look at him, one of the characters will be like, "Hey, Batman's like stalking us right now," or whatever, and then he like either like throws down a smoke grenade or grapples away or something and just like leaves, and then he keeps getting closer and closer as the game progresses, like closer to your like squad and everything. So it's kind of scary, really cool though. I love it. I thought it was like amazing. But yeah, I personally think they did Batman well. Once again, I got to get into spoilers later for that. So, you know, overall, Batman's good, but as I said, it's going to have to get into spoilers to talk like in depth about what I think about Batman. And my final pro for this game is I think it's a good looter shooter. I think that the enemy variety could be better and the like mission structures could be better because they do get kind of repetitive, but the gameplay keeps it fun. But the enemies are like just a bunch of purple and blue and red and all kinds of just different colors and stuff. But I do think that the enemy variety, yeah, it could be better. But I think that overall, the game is a good looter shooter. The loot system's fun. It's like interesting, I guess. There's so much stuff that you can do with it. Like I was not expecting this much depth with the loot system, but there is quite a bit. So I was like surprised to see that. And there's no like loot tiers or levels, so you're not like getting like blocked out of a mission because you're not high enough level. The game or the guns you start with, even you could probably beat the game with. Like it's not like you have to be level 50 to access this area gun. You like are level 20 when that mission comes up. Like it's nothing like that. It's just some of them do more damage and some of them have different status effects, but they don't have like loot tiers or anything. You don't have to grind to unlock the level to be able to use the gun or anything. Nothing like that. I really appreciate that. There is still a skill tree, so your characters can level up, but it really just affects, like I said, the skill tree and the skills. So other than that, yeah, the loot's good, everything. But yeah, there's no like level locks or anything, which I really appreciated. Alrighty, now I gotta get into the cons. I think the cons of this game, number one, we have been spoiled by superhero games, so I don't know if this is really a con, but it just doesn't really live up to the Arkham games, Spider-Man games, like all that stuff. I mean, it's better than Avengers, it's better than Gotham Knights, in my opinion, but it doesn't live up to those, which I don't think it ever would, because it's not like a cinematic story game. It's a completely different type of game. Like, to me, it's as good as, like, The Division, or, well, maybe not as good as The Division, but it's up there with The Division and Destiny and all those looter shooters, if you like those. But yeah, it doesn't really live up to the, like, single-player story games, which is a completely different type of game, so I don't think it really has to. But I know a lot of people are complaining about that, so I just thought I'd address it. That is true, it doesn't really live up to those, but it's still a good, like, overall solid game. And there's some missions in this game that I just do not see how the design team was like, yeah, this is a great idea. There are escort missions. If you've ever played a game with escort missions, you know they are miserable. It is where you just sit there behind a really slow car, escorted to a spot, enemy spawn, you have to kill them before they like destroy the car, and then you just keep following it, and it takes like 10 minutes, and it is miserable and boring. I will say that is the worst part about this game, but there's only like 3 of them that you have to do, so it's not too bad, it's bearable, and the gameplay and combat and stuff keeps it somewhat fun while you're doing it. It's just the times you're walking behind the car super slow, just waiting for it to get to its objective, that it gets really boring. But yeah, the those kinds of missions I just hate so much, so I just wanted to address that too, like they are in the game, and I don't like it. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. I don't know who play tested this and was like, yeah, these escort missions, they are a great idea. Keep that in the game. Like, I don't think anybody could even say something positive about them. I'm sure that they got negative feedback, but they just didn't want to make a new mission structures, which I guess is pretty lazy on their part if that is true. But, you know, who knows what's going on behind the scenes. And like I said before in the bosses section, some of them are lackluster. That's another con. They left me wanting more, and just, I don't know, they just weren't what I really wanted from them, which I'll get into more in the spoiler section of this video. But overall, I'm going to give Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League a 7 out of 10. I think it's a fun game. It's not on the level of like Arkham and Spider-Man, like I said, but I can see myself doing all the post-launch content. I think it's really fun. The gameplay is fun and everything. I do think it's worth a buy, even though it can be quite wanting at times. I don't think it's necessarily a bad game. I think it's more so a good game. I think it's fun, especially if you have friends. It's going to be super fun to play with your friends. And I think that what they did with Batman did him justice. I know that Kevin Conroy said that he liked the game and the role and everything before he died, unfortunately. So he liked it. I don't know why everyone's saying it disrespects him. He had fun with it, he said. So, like, just leave it alone. Just let people enjoy the game. That's nothing. Every single time that I ever say I enjoy this game, people just come at me like, you're wrong, it's horrible, this like ruins Kevin Conroy's legacy. He said that he enjoyed it. I don't understand. Anyways, so yeah, that is that's that. So yeah, overall I give it a 7 out of 10, and I think I'm just going to make another separate video for spoilers just for people who want to watch this one. So yeah, I'm not going to get into spoilers in this video. I'll get into it later. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please do leave a like and subscribe and check this game out. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one.